All right, here we go. All right, so for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Rosalind Shaw Belt. Everybody calls me Dr. Roz for short. I'm not a medical doctor. I have a doctorate in theology and divinity, but I am a certified wellness coach and passionate about it since that has taken place in my life. It's transformed my life and my husband's life, and we're now committed to seeing the lives of others transformed. I'm also the CEO of Dream to Life Productions and Ministry. I'm a wife, a musician, videographer. You can see the list. I do a lot of stuff. God has blessed me with many things that when you give, what you give to him, he makes you ruler over much. That's what the Bible says, right? But more than anything else, I love to motivate. I love to teach. I love to inspire. I love to empower. And I am a licensed insurance agent in the state of Texas and in Georgia. I'm a network marketer, and I happen to be blessed to be the VP of communications for a company by the name of Akana. And as I said, I'm a certified wellness coach. But let's talk about Akana. Well, first of all, what does it mean? It means in the hands of God. And we take that very personal because we want to do everything guided by his hands because the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Our company was launched on April 20th, 2019 with our own line of CBD products and essential oils that helped a lot of people, change people's lives, brought down A1C numbers, diabetes, high blood pressure, lupus, MS, all these different things that are used that CBD helps to assist with. But then in 2020, we expanded. We expanded to move into another area of wellness and weight management products. And in 2021, we introduced the Flat Belly Lifestyle. Now, currently, we have more than 27,000 customers. Yes, because we are a customer-based company. And we reinvest 1% of our gross profits to empower undeserved communities. We're really proud of that because our whole goal is not just to be blessed, but we got to be a blessing. So we deliver 5-star customer support. Well, before we really get going with this, I want to share this powerful, powerful video. Check this out.
2/3 of adults are now overweight or obese, and we have an epidemic cascade of debilitating disease that's overcoming the country. There's no way we can sustain the current style of care with the epidemic that we're creating with our diet and lifestyle choices.
The diabetes, the arthritis, the heart disease, the dementia, the obesity, the cancers are affecting about 70% of deaths. All the data is that those 70% of deaths and morbidity are largely lifestyle related and preventable.
Most kids by age 10 in the US already have fatty streaks in their arteries, the first stage of atherosclerosis leading to heart attacks, strokes.
Here in American medicine, we operate from the disease model. We are in the business of treating sick people. We are not in the business of trying to prevent people from becoming sick.
When you look at chronic disease risk, all the things that we walk around worrying about, actually dietary choices trump smoking when it comes to those risks.
If I could deliver one message to the researchers who are looking for the cause of diabetes and the cause of clogged arteries and the cause of high blood pressure and the cause of obesity, I would tell them the answer's in 3 words. It's the food. It's what Americans are eating.
He's so passionate when he says that. It's the food. It's the food. And did you hear the other doctor say that we are not in the business we're in the business of treating sick people. We're not in the business of preventing them from being sick. That means that's something we've got to do ourselves. We know that the leading cause of death is heart disease. But do you know that in 2020, nearly 700,000 people died from heart disease in the US? And for 25% of them, the first time they got a symptom of having heart disease was death. That's astonishing because 90% of heart disease is preventable. It's preventable by changing our diet. And then talk about cancer. How many people on this call, you know somebody, whether it's been you yourself that has experienced, and if you're still here, praise God for the miracle, right? Praise God that you're still here to tell the story. But what about it? When cancer cells are in all of our bodies, but everybody doesn't move into that stage of it being malignant. But guess what? It's reversible too. And then COVID-19, when pandemic hit, we had all kinds of deaths that took place. But before COVID-19, before the pandemic, there was a particular thing that was also considered to be the 3rd leading cause of death. You'd be surprised to know, according to Institute of Healthcare Improvement, they say medical errors in hospitals and other medical facilities. According to different organizations all over the internet, you can look up the National Library of Medicine. Listen, look at that last statement. Recent studies of medical errors have estimated errors may account for as many as 251,000 deaths. Medical errors. So we've got to educate ourselves. We've got to begin to take control of our own health and realize what are the things that really lead to disease. Because disease starts in the cells of our body. So one of those things is lack of oxygen. Another one is mucus that builds up over time. And everything I'm going to talk about today is over time. Nothing happens overnight. It happens over time. Mucus and parasites. And we've had people that have gone through our program and they had literally eliminated parasites. Yep, in the stool, worms crawling, but they came out of your body. Toxicity. So many toxins and so many things that we eat, so many of the processed foods that we eat, even the air that we breathe, and it's destroying us. So we need to detoxify. Deficiency. We are deficient in so many different vitamins in our body because some of the things we might eat correctly, but if you heat it, you heat it out. And it's causing a lot of different problems in our bodies just because of lacking in deficiency, chronic issues, Alzheimer, and some of those things are mainly because of certain vitamins that are deficient in your body. And then we have an acidic body. We're going to talk about all these things in depth because you have a bioscan. And hopefully, again, I hope you have it in front of you and you're ready to take a look at what your results are. But we definitely want you to know after we finish all of this, we want you to be informed because there may be some things that are toxic to your blood type. First of all, do you know your blood type? Are you familiar with what your blood type is? You say, oh, I'll call my doctor. He may not even want you to know because there's going to be something you're going to know that you might be literally eating certain foods that are toxic to your blood. Look at this, type B. How many of us are blood type B? And we're eating chicken. See, it's not what you do some of the time, it's what you do all of the time. Because if you're a chicken lover, like my husband is a chicken lover, when we got married, he was eating a certain chicken here in Houston, Texas called French's chicken 3 times a week. So it wasn't what he was doing some of the time, but all of the time. Now, he's a blood type O, so he has a little leeway there. But if you were a B or if you're an A and you eat a banana every morning and you're wondering why you're swelling up, you're wondering why you don't digest well, you're wondering why you always have a headache, you're wondering why you have all these issues in your body, could it be that you're eating something that's very toxic to your blood? One of the first things that we try to find out is what's going on in the cells of our body through our bioscan. This technology, this quantum physics is what it's based on. It's based on the fact of energy. Albert Einstein said it, he recognized it a long time ago, that the future of medicine is energy medicine, because we learned it in school about it, or at least we heard about it. We might not have learned it. Trillions of cells in our body. And the cells do what? Grow, split, regenerate, and die. Grow. And this is a cycle that takes place within a 15-year span. So we're really only supposed to be biologically 15 years old. That's why we call it age reversal. That's why we're saying that every one of us right now, people that you love, family members that you love, we've got to get this information out to them because you can actually reverse your age biologically. Yes, chronologically go from one age to the next, but guess what? It's time to reverse the direction that we're going in. Red blood cells renew at the rate of 100 million per minute. Listen, we've got to do this because now God made our bodies. He made our bodies to heal itself. So what is this biotechnology?
Yeah, but he ain't going over there anyway.
It is available to us to be able to understand what's going on in the cells of your body. And it's a wide range of uses. So it's quantum magnetic analyzer. If you were privileged to be able to sit down in front of somebody who invited you to this presentation, you held a wand in your hand for less than 2 minutes. And now I hope that you're looking at it because that report card, that health report card is going to show you what's taking place in your body. Now, there's several different columns to this health report card. The first column is what's tested. And there's 7 different ones that we showed you. Some of you have seen 4 of them. Some of you have seen 6 of them. And we make available for you to see the entire report card if you so desire. But the first column is things that were tested. The second column is the normal range where we would all like to be, right? That's in a perfect world. We want to get there. That's our goal. The third column are your measurements. It's personal to you based on the information that you gave the scan coach. And then the next column is colors. Now that's what makes it so simple and easy to understand. You've got green, blue, yellow, and red. The green means it's normal. Whatever item was tested is normal. The blue means it's mildly out of balance or abnormal. Moderately abnormal is the yellow, and red severely. Now, understand this, don't freak out. Abnormality or being out of balance does not mean disease, but it does mean that we're going in the wrong direction. And if you're going in the right direction, what do? If you're driving a car and you're going in the wrong direction, don't you turn around? Same thing here. We've got to turn around. Now, you may see some things on the left. You see blue, yellow, and red on the left of the green, and you see blue, yellow, and red on the right of the green. Everything on the left means there's a decrease or there's a deficiency. On the right means there's an increase or it's overworking. So now we're going to go through this whole report card of what you have in front of you, whether it's on your phone, whether you print it out on paper, or whether you were looking at it in your email or however you get it, looking at it. And let's talk about your situation, because now we want to reverse whatever it is. That's the good news. Even if you see something in the red, listen, no doom and gloom here. It's reversible. That's the message. So the first report that we're going to take a look at is called the cardiovascular and cerebral vascular. That means heart and brain. For many of you, that's the first one you're looking at. So now let's go through this. Now, I may talk about some things together. I might pair them together because they tend to work together. You'll see something on the right on both of them, or one of them, or 3 of them all together. So this first thing, blood viscosity, that means the thickness of your blood. So if yours is not in the green, then it's probably, because this example, it's in the green. But if yours is in the blue, yellow, or red on the right-hand side, which is where it would be, that means it's thicker than it should be. That means your blood is not flowing as good as it should be, and it's thicker. That's how we get those blood clots, because blood fatty tissues, you see the other one, blood flat, guess where that comes from? It comes from our diet. It comes from the animal protein that we eat. It comes from the cholesterol. It comes from the buildup of toxins in the blood. Over time, remember what I said, not about what you did last week, last month, or last year. It's about what we've been doing since we were a teenager, because this bioscan actually shows you when 10 cells get out of balance. Now, there is technology in our Western medicine that does have equipment to do similar things, but it's only calibrated to see when 10,000 cells get out of balance. Well, see, that's when you got signs and symptoms. You heard the doctor say, I didn't say it. He says they were taught in medical school how to treat conditions. I want to know, don't tell me I got stage 4 cancer. I want to know, when did it start? How did I get stage 1? I want to know when it looked like I'm going in the direction of heart disease. And that's what we're showing you here as it relates to the heart. So if you're in the blue, the yellow, or the red, guess what? We need to clean it up. If your faucet is clogged, if your drain is clogged, don't you do something? You get a plunger, you get some Drano. Well, guess what? Blood viscosity, thickness of the blood is not flowing properly. That's like having a milkshake and you sucking on the straw and can't get it to come through. It's too thick. If you're in the red, more than likely you're already on blood thinner. But do you have to be on blood thinners for the rest of your life? Listen, that should not be the case. So the thing is, we got to thin up the blood, and it's not necessarily only through using medication, because those are chemicals that tend to do damage in other areas of the body. But what if you could cleanse it? And we're going to talk about that. Then we got cholesterol. Where does it come from? Actually, the meat. And no, don't tell me you don't eat beef, because when I say meat, people always go to beef. But I'm talking about chicken. I'm talking about turkey. I'm talking about anything that has eyes over time, because your blood vessels can only take so much. And we overdo it. We overdose on animal protein. Yes, we do. We love it. We got it for breakfast. We got it for lunch. We got it for dinner. And I'm going to show you, we don't even give it time to digest. Then we got vascular resistance. Vascular resistance, usually if it's on the right, in the blue, the yellow, or red, especially if it's in the yellow or the red, you may have already been diagnosed with high blood pressure, because in vascular resistance, it means that your blood vessels have plaque build up around the walls of that artery. Atherosclerosis is very running prevalent in our communities, but guess what? You can reverse that. Get it how? Remove the plaque. Yeah, medication works temporarily because it puts a Band-Aid on it, but it doesn't necessarily get the plaque out. So that's why we end up being on high blood pressure medicine all of our lives. My father, he was on it all of his life and over all of his adult life. And by the time he passed away, he was on dialysis because, unfortunately, the blood pressure medicine over time, I didn't know this then, but I do know it now, it did damage our kidneys. So we got to make sure that we put ourselves in a position where we can get the plaque out. Somebody put in the chat, get the plaque out. That's what we got to do. Otherwise, it continues to progress. Please know that everything we're about to see in these BioScan health report cards, if we do nothing about it, if you see this, if you see yours and say, okay, I don't believe any of this, I'm just going to let it go. Guess what? It still progresses, whether you believe it or not. It progresses in the wrong direction. This is about knowing it. So now I can reverse the direction. I can get this plaque out. I can flush it out and prevent myself from going towards a blocked artery. That's called a heart attack. That's called a stroke. That's called aneurysm. So guess what? We can do this thing. And then we have a vascular elasticity. Now, as you see, I've highlighted vascular elasticity, coronary artery elasticity, and cerebral blood vessel elasticity. What's the common denominator? The word elasticity. Vascular is around the heart. Why am I talking about all three? Because it's the same word. It has to do with plaque buildup, because the blood vessel is supposed to be like a rubber band. Elasticity, so that the blood can flow. But when plaque starts to build up, that blood vessel that's supposed to be elastic hardens. And we've all heard the term hardening of the arteries. My mother had it, hardening of the arteries. And here's the thing, if it gets too hard, it eventually breaks. So that's called a heart attack or a stroke. My mother experienced 3 heart attacks and 2 strokes before she passed away. Hardening of the arteries, but that was because of that plaque buildup, lack of knowledge. We're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. But when you know better, guess what? You can do something about it. What's the solution? Remove the plaque, flush it out, cleanse it out, detox it out. All of these things lead to one solution that we can do other than only having the solution of medication. We're not speaking against medication. Please, it's needed for what it's needed for. But the problem is we live our lives with it and it's causing more problems than we should have. So what happens when we flush it out? Now that same blood vessel becomes elastic all over again. And then we said coronary artery elasticity, same elasticity, meaning plaque buildup. But this time we're not talking about around the heart. The coronary artery is on the heart. Same fatty deposits that's coming from our diet, coming from our food, coming from a buildup over time. And the last one was what? Cerebral blood. Cerebral meaning brain. See, in this test, everything on the test, all the way down to the last 2 items, deals with the heart. The last 2 deal with the brain. So now we're talking about the blood vessel on the brain is being clogged with plaque buildup, leading to the brain. What does that lead to? Stroke, aneurysm. Have you ever talked to somebody one day and the next day you hear they're in the hospital because of something? Or maybe they even passed away because of having a heart attack or a stroke. You see, because when that buildup is in the heart, then all of a sudden it leaves a clot to the brain. So we want to cleanse this. We want to get it out. And if you're looking at your health report card and you have any one of these, vascular, coronary, or cerebral, and it's to the left or the right, you want to do something about it. See, let's look at, because you want to do something about it. Even in this example, vascular on the left, you see that? Coronary, it would be on the left, and cerebral, it would be on the left, because it's not as elastic as it should be. So that means plaque buildup. Next, we're going to look at myocardial blood demand. Now, myocardial has to do with every 60 seconds, the heart demands a certain amount of blood to get to the heart. And every time you see that, it has to do with the healthiness of your heart. One of the things that you can do, and I'll talk about in a little bit, exercise. Exercise is not something that we just should take so lightly. It's not about looking good. It's for your health, because your heart needs to be healthy to do what? To get the blood to the heart every 60 seconds, a certain amount is required. And so when you see this myocardial blood demand and it's on the right, it means your heart is working harder to make this happen. And it's working harder usually because of something you see on the left with the blood perfusion volume and the myocardial oxygen consumption. We need oxygen. Remember, I saw that was one of the deficiencies, oxygen in the blood. So we've got to make sure that we clean these areas up. If it's on the right, it's extra work. It's working harder. And over time, because of our diet, it's not happening because we got all these different clots or we've got different resistances taking place, and your heart is happening to work over time. We are either oxygen deprived or we're oxygen enriched. And so many times we don't recognize everything starts in the cells. Stroke volume. Now, don't have a fit. We're not talking about having a stroke. If you're looking at your chart and it's on the left, you're in the blue, you're in the yellow, or in the red, it does not mean you're having a stroke. But what it does mean is you're not stroking as good as you could be. What does that mean? Every time the heart beats, every time the heart contracts, it's called a stroke. So then you're not doing it as well as you should be. And then if you see pump power, that left ventricular effective pump power, that's the pumping of your heart. That's how well your heart is pumping. All of this has to do with how healthy your heart is. But there's a fix to it, an easy fix. I call it easy because it's called exercise. It's called cardio. You got to get the heart rate up. You got to get the heart working, not overworking, but it's working harder than you've been working it. We live this sedentary lifestyle where we're sitting down all the time. I'm guilty, but I make sure that every day, every morning, at a certain time, I'm up doing something. I'm pumping it. And you got to pump it harder. Somebody said, well, I exercise all the time. Well, guess what? Your heart may be used to that type of exercise. So you need to do a little bit of high intensity. If you're a runner, then you just give me 30 strides really, really fast. If you're on a treadmill, give me 15 strides really, really fast. If you're on a Stairmaster or if you're sitting in a chair and you're doing chair jumping jacks, you know, the kind you sit in the chair, then I need you to move the hands real fast for just about 10 times. Anything that calls the heart to say, okay, I got to work harder. And now that pump is going to begin to get better and better and better. Because one of the things we do with this bioscan is when people see these results and then they go and do something about it that we'll share with you in just a minute, we want you to take another bioscan because we want you to see improvement. Any kind of exercise you can do. It's just about movement, guys. It doesn't mean you have to get a gym subscription or anything. Listen, there's tons of things on the internet, on YouTube. If you like to dance, come on, let's just get it moving. And you say, well, I can't do but 5 minutes. Well, start with the 5 minutes you can do and build that, because you'll be surprised at how you will improve if you just get started. Then we got the left ventricular ejection impedance. Now, that's an impedance. That impedance, that word means blockage. So that means there's a blockage. It should be probably on the right-hand side, and you've got to recognize it needs to be unblocked. Again, faucet, unplug it, right? Let's get the plaque out. Let's get the plaque out. Let's get the plaque out. I can't overemphasize the need to, because in the left ventricle of your body is where the blood goes back to the rest of your body. Oh my God. So if blood clot is there and not enough blood is going to the rest of our body, or if we're sending things to it because we've got all kinds of things, and we got the cholesterol, we got toxins, we got mucus, we got all this stuff, we got buildup, plaque buildup, then why are we having problems in other areas of our body? Because it's coming from the left ventricle. Coronary perfusion pressure. Listen, again, anytime you see the word coronary, it's talking about the arteries on the heart. And that perfusion, we got it, that oxygen. So now it's overworking. And the pressure it's putting on your arteries. And we talked about the cerebral. But now let's move forward. Let's talk about the gut. Page 7, if you've got the full report, it may be your second. If you've got the pictures of your report, But why is gut health important? Well, 70% of our immune system is in our gut. It's in our stomach. We would not be having this COVID problem and be so affected by it if our immune system is operating at its optimum performance. And so this report deals with some things that we see over and over again. So I'm going to pair those together as well. Pepsin, pepsin secretion coefficient. What is that about? Pepsin is an enzyme. And the job of the enzyme that God made in our bodies is, God made our bodies, guys, to heal itself. This is an enzyme that's made in the stomach that breaks down protein in our food so we can digest it, so you can have the bowel movements, right? But here's the thing. If we have so much animal protein, there's not enough pepsin. You're making the pepsin have to work too hard. And over time, it can't get it done. So now you see you're constipated, or you see how your bowel movement looks, right? So that enzyme, pepsin, in this example, it's on the left, meaning it has been overworked so much that it's not functioning as properly as it could be. And now you're not digesting well. So you're bloated. Your food's just sitting there. Because what we don't understand is that our body has 4 to 6 meals just sitting on the walls of our intestines. And now you're trying to eat and you're pushing, and it's saying, I can't make it through here, so I'm just going to back up. And now that's acid reflux. Or it's pushing, and it's going so slow, it slows down because you think you eat food to get energy. Not so. Your body is using energy to digest the food. And one of the ways it does that is with the gastric peristalsis. The gastric peristalsis, that word peristalsis, it's a muscle that's breaking down your food. One, we don't chew enough. So just imagine if you only chew a few times and then you digest that steak or that chicken or that pork chop or whatever it is, and it's taking a hard time because now your body's got to break it down. And over time, it's been working and working. And if you had to work as hard as it had to work, you'd be tired too. And you would not be functioning as well because we don't even understand what digestion is all about. Nobody has taught us, if they had taught us when we were kids, that you got to have some time for food to digest, then we wouldn't be piling it up. I'm learning so much about food combinations because we eat our breakfast, our lunch, and our dinner. We eat some bacon and we eat some chicken and we eat big. Now just look at the hours of time it takes for each of these to digest. And we've not given it time. And then the next time is for our next meal. And we haven't digested, I told you, 4 to 6 meals sitting in there. Mayo Clinic says it takes about 36 hours for food to move from the entire colon. 10 to 20 pounds of waste. That's why the cleanse is so powerful, because it removes the waste. And then the other thing that we don't understand is our body temperature compared to the animals that we eat. I'm gonna just give you one. I'm gonna give you two, the cow and the fish. Our normal body temperature is 98.6. The cow's is 100 to 102. Anything higher than ours is more difficult to break down the protein and the oil, so it gets clogged up. In other words, the body has to work hard. Now, if you're a constant eater of the cow, over time, in your lifetime, from a teenager up until now, how much of it have you eaten? Do you understand that that's why we're clogged up? That's why some people that are pescatarians that do more fish have a better chance, because in 40-degree weather, it's 60 degrees. That's less than our normal human body temperature. So that's a lot easier to break down. So if you're looking at your report and you see pepsin, gastric peristalsis, or gastric absorption over to the left, you need a cleanse. You need to flush out your intestinal tracts, your large intestines. Well, let's look at the large intestines. So when you look at your large intestines, it may be the same or it may be a little bit less, but if it's in the blue, it's starting to clog up. If you're in the yellow and the red, listen, we got to get you got to cleanse. You got to get this thing flushed out, because if you have intestinal bacteria, which is the third one that you're looking at, then guess what? It's causing some problems. If you're looking at intraluminal pressure coefficient, that fourth one, it'll be on the right. That means there's so much food coming down your intestines that it's pushing against the walls and it's thinning those walls in your intestines. So we need to cleanse. There's a reason the lion can't catch the gazelle. Watch this. That's funny to me. He gave up. I can't catch him. Why? Because the lion is a carnivore eating flesh, and the gazelle is an herbivore that eats plants. Well, we were not designed, we're not carnivores. We were not designed to eat animals. Our body was not made, it doesn't chew the way a lion and a tiger. And think about the big animals, the huge, the largest animals on the planet don't eat meat. The elephant, the strong as an ox. We say that, right? What do they eat? The gorilla, what do they eat? See? And so over time, because we have been taught a certain kind of way, we do things and we think we've got to have this protein that we can only get from meat. And now we end up damaging or causing our livers to not function. So hopefully now you're looking at page 12 if you have the full report, or your third report or fourth report on your phone, or whatever you have it on, is regarding the liver function. Now, as it relates to the liver function, we see several things. We see protein metabolism, energy production, detoxification function. All of these things have to do with how well your liver is filtering, because that's the job of the liver. But what we don't know about a liver that many times doctors don't tell us, because I had a lady, she had a fatty liver. And if you're in the yellow or the red, if you're anything to the right, you got a fatty liver. And this is a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now, we think that the only people that have cirrhosis of the liver are alcoholics. But this is a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and it's potentially fatal. That's just equal to having a bottle of vodka every single day. Because the job of the liver is to filter. Now, just like your car, what do you do every 3,000 miles? Change the oil. What do they also change? The filter. What if they didn't change the filter and just change the oil and sent the clean oil through a dirty filter? What would happen? Still dirty. It would still mess up your engine over time. You'd have to have a new engine. Your engine would be puffing smoke. Well, guess what? That's happening to our bodies because of a fatty liver. Looking at your chart, look at your chart. Is your fatty liver, that fourth one, that one down at the bottom, is it to the right? Then guess what? We need to cleanse that liver. And last but not least is the acidic body. Now, we've heard the term acidic or acid or alkaline. Most of us don't know what that means, but we do know what it means. Because anytime you go to the store and you buy Duracell batteries, they're called alkaline batteries. And you buy the battery, you put it in your, whatever your player or your remote or whatever you're putting it in, and it plays 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 and it plays. And it plays. Yeah, see, it loses its alkalinity and it becomes acidic. Same thing happens to our body because of our diet. Over time, our bodies are in an acidic place. Why is that important? Because you can change that through diet. You can change that by getting the toxins out, and you can change it also by getting the stress out of your life. Those are the three causes of acidity in the body. So where's your pH, that pH on your chart? Because if you're even in the other things that you see here on this particular basic chart here, response ability, if it's on the left, that means you're reacting more than you're responding. You're going off the chain and you don't even know why. Everything is just stressing you out so much. Your body's in an acidic place. Your mental power, your water shortage. Oh my God, so many of us are not drinking enough water. The hypoxia, the oxygen in your body, not enough oxygen in your body, but that pH, it doesn't have blue and yellow. It's either red or green. And in this case, it's just barely off, but we got to get it into the green because we know that what? Disease cannot dwell in an alkaline environment. When we get our bodies in that alkaline state, do you see what that is? 7, 8, 9, and 10. Where do you live your life mostly? 3, 4, 5, and 6? Or 7, 8, 9, and 10? We got to get more 7, 8, 9, and 10s in our life. There are those who decide when they go through this process that they just want to live over here at 7, 8, 9, and 10. They go raw, they go vegan, they go vegetarian. That's your choice. But the purpose of this is to say, wake up, let's add more of this to our diet and less of 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because guess where disease lives? On the left side of the spectrum. It doesn't live on the right side of the spectrum. If a person had cancer and they go to the right side, listen, radiation, surgery and chemo are not the only solutions. So I saw this morning and I added to my presentation. I saw it on our Facebook page. I just loved it. Stop eating crap. Carbonated drinks, refined sugars, artificial foods, and processed foods. I love this picture. Come on, I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. Just observe the warning. I live in a city where we have hurricanes. And when a hurricane looks like it's on the way, there's blasts on the television, blasts on the phone, where people have tornado, warning, warning. And it may not even come. It may not even hit your house. So we're not predestinating anything. We're saying there's a warning based on your personal bioscan. When you get these warnings, do you not do anything? Yes, yes. I live in Houston. We do something. We go to the store, we stock up in case the lights go out, even if the hurricane doesn't hit. The waters rise up and we have floods and you can't leave your home, or the electricity goes off. And if you haven't prepared and gone to the store and got the water and got some stuff that you can snack on while you're waiting for the lights to come back on, if you haven't boarded up the house and put some, instead, you do something. That's what this is about. Do something. So what can you do? Flush your body with the cleanse. Get the toxins and the mucus and the waste and the parasites and the plaque out by juicing and eating fruits and vegetables on our cleanse. And now, without any further ado, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to share this presentation with a lady who I think so highly of. She's a mother, and she's a good mother, as a matter of fact. She's a grandmother. She's a great grandmother too. She's an entrepreneur. She's an econopreneur, and she's a certified wellness coach. And then she is passionate about helping people. And she's going to share with you what we do next. After you've seen your bioscan, now it's about solution. We didn't just come here to tell you the problem. We came here to give you a solution. Miss Anna Gallagher, are you here?
Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm
Good
here.
morning. All right.
Right back to you, Dr. Roz, all those good things you said, because you are awesome. We're going to take our 7 or 21 day cleanse, raw cleanse. One of the best ways to do that is you're going to be detoxifying your body, elevating your energy by detoxifying your body. You're going to be doing a daily juice regimen. Men, 24 ounces of juice 3 times a day. Women, 16 ounces of juice 3 times a day. We're going to tell you about a approved grocery list and a raw meal plan and a 21-day cleanse products. The first step, number 1, is the eliminator. This eliminates excess mucus and parasite. This is a powder that you will take 1 teaspoon in 8 ounces of water, or either you can add it to your juice. That's the first thing in the morning. Our step number 2, this is the purifier. This is awesome. It cleans the colon, detoxifies the bodily organs. This is a tea. You drop the tea bag into 45 ounces of water that you boiled, put a lid on it and let it sit out overnight. Then you will be drinking 4 ounces each day before or about 8 p.m. in the evening to cleanse your colon and detoxify your bodily organs. Our step 3 is going to be the regenerator. And the regenerator is going to replenish vitamins and minerals in your body. And what I love about this, all 3 products that I've mentioned, this one is a powder also, and you do 2 teaspoons in your juice 3 times a day. What I love about all of these items that I've mentioned, it's not medicine in them. All of this is minerals and herbs. Now, what I will tell you about next on the screen, I'm going to go from left to right. The bottle you see there on the left, that's alkaline water. Dr. Roz has already talked to you about getting your body in an alkaline state. The other items are things that you're going to be adding to your juice before you drink it. That's going to be the aloe vera juice. It's going to be the cayenne pepper. It's going to be the liquid chlorophyll. And then it's going to also be flaxseed oil. You will be adding this to your juice before you drink it. We've got here the grocery list that you can add on before you cleanse. And we've just put a few of the stores out there that you can purchase the things you will need that I've just talked about and Dr. Roz has talked about for your 7 or 21-day cleanse. Now, some of the brands are H-E-B, Amazon, Trader Joe, but you can find most of these things if you shop other places also. And I think that takes care of my part. Back to you, Dr. Roz.
Thank you, Miss Anna. Wonderful job. So wonderful. Thank you so much for all that you do. Now, listen, let's get started. I know right now you're ready to get started. Somebody invited you to this. They either gave you the bioscan or they invited you to attend this presentation, the scan analysis presentation. And we've got several ways you can do that. They have a website you can go to and you can say, okay, I'm ready to do that 21-day cleanse. Well, it costs $299, but that you're ready to go. It gives you everything you need for the 21 days. But if you're a person who says, well, I don't know if I can do 21 days, because that's 21 days. You heard Miss Anna describe it. It's a raw fruits and vegetables and the products. Well, if you can't do 21, don't not do nothing. Get started. At least with 7 days. And I tell people if you can't do it, and I wish you do 21 days, because 21 days is giving me the best results in my life. But let's, we're realistic because we want you to follow it. We don't want you to start and stop. And we're going to coach you through it. And you're going to learn what to eat and even what to avoid after the cleanse according to your blood type. But you're going to be a part of a community where you have the Facebook group to help you and your coach, your own personal coach to help you, and the grocery list. I mean, all the fruits and vegetables, no matter which ones you like, you can choose yourself, right? And we're going to give you an ebook and everything. And Dr. Prince has got the exact juice recipe. And if you don't want to make the juice, we'll refer people that do the juicing for you, and you can just buy juice from them, and as well as those additional products that Miss Anna just showed you about. But at least start with 7 days. At least start. And then if you do 7 days, 3 months later, come on, let's do another 7 days. Because let me tell you something, when your body starts feeling better, when that bloating goes, when that waste comes out, when that transformation starts taking place in your face, in your body, in your belly, because it's called the flat belly for a reason, you're going to want to do something about it. You're going to want to tell somebody. That's what you're going to want to do. Matter of fact, you won't even have to tell anybody because they're going to ask you about it. And let me tell you something. We really do need more coaches. We want people who care enough about other people to help them. Because we naturally do it in our lives if you love people at all. And we have a full coaching program that's a part of this wellness dispensary. And look at what you get. You get 3 of the 7-day cleanses in this package, 1 of the 21-day raw cleanses. And you get some of our CBD products, the pain cream. Oh my God, it's always in the top of our list of products, our top sellers, because it helps with neuropathy. I have a godmother uses it for that, puts it on her feet at night. The tingling disappears. Now, we don't make the claims, but our customers do. The Hempranium, it's our own proprietary formula with black seed oil, turmeric, coconut oil, peppermint in an oil that you drop 3 drops under the tongue to help with inflammation. Did you know that inflammation is the culprit to most diseases, most autoimmune diseases, mostly everything we deal with, diabetes, high blood pressure, something's inflamed. Hemp MD is our strongest 900 milligrams of CBD. And if you don't know about CBD and that it's not marijuana, it is not, we're not talking about marijuana, it's from the hemp plant. Get back with the person who invited you and let them give you more education, send you a video that you can understand what we're talking about. The gummies that help for sleep. Sample packs, the certification, because we want to educate you. All of this is a part of this $14.99 that's really over $2,900 in value. And not only that, you become a wellness coach. And then if you want to get the bioscan equipment like we were using to do that little 2 minutes for you, then we'll show you how to get that. It's not a part of this package, but you can easily get it. and included to become a full wellness coach. But now if you said to me, well, Dr. Ross, I really do want to get the 7-day cleanse. Well, I'm gonna challenge you, whether it's the 7-day or the 21-day. I hope you say the 21-day, I really do. I want you to commit to that. But if you want to get the 7-day, here's something I suggest. You can pay $119 for the 7-day cleanse. And I promise you, I see it all the time. When you do the cleanse, somebody's going to say, what are you doing? Because I see the glow in your face. What are you doing? I see you trimming down. How powerful would it be for you to send them to your website? And just for a few dollars more, you can get the dispensary for $199.95. And now you can send them to your website and you can start generating an additional income because folks are going to see your transformation, because the 7-day cleanse comes with it. Or the 21-day cleanse comes with the $399 package and the same thing. And guess what? For the $399, you get the 21-day cleanse. Even if you're going to do the 7-day and you're going to do the 7-day 3 weeks later, 3 months later, and the 3 months later, you won't have to buy it again because you've got 21 days worth of product. And along with that, we're going to let you have a 30-day wholesale travel membership, because when you start feeling better, you want to travel. And one of the best things about health and wellness is to be on the beach. It's to be in a villa. It's to be looking out over the sky. It's whatever it is you enjoy. And then we're going to give you samples as well. So it's amazing how this puts you in a position now that you not only cleanse yourself, but you provide yourself with another stream of income, because now people can go to your website. God bless the child who's got his own, right? So that being said, thank you again for being here with us today. Get back with the person that invited you. We want you to elevate with Akana, and we want to welcome you to the family. We're going to stop for a few minutes and see if we have any questions. If you have any